welcome to Dialogue. The UN General Assembly has unanimously adopted a resolution proposed by China and co-sponsored by over 140 countries on strengthening international cooperation in the capacity building of artificial intelligence. Hopes are high that new innovations in the economic sector can be used to boost growth, with AI likely to play a major role. How can emerging technologies contribute to the global economy and also help improve life? How will artificial intelligence reshape the job market and even the global landscape? And how will AI development be impacted by the competition between China and the US in the high-tech sector? In the first half, I will talk to Wang Guan, State Retained AI Specialist of China. Hello, Wang Guan. Welcome to Dialogue. Let's start with, how do you describe the current status of the Chinese AI development and also the application of AI technologies?
I think China is one of the very few potential competitors to the US in terms of AI research and development, because China has tons of really talented researchers, scientists, and developers. And due to the past few decades that a lot of China grads come to the US and UK and other top universities to get educated. And they probably, for example, work in Silicon Valley companies like Google, DeepMind, OpenAI, Amazon, Meta, and other firms. And some of them have returned to China, and some started their own startups. And so as a result, China actually has the potential and capability to catch or, let's say, follow in a more accurate way to the very cutting edge of the AI, especially large language models or so-called generative pre-trained transformer. But to be honest, there's still a very obvious gap between the first player, or let's say tier one of China, then OpenAI and DeepMind. We can consider this problem in this way. In terms of means of production for AI, talents, data, computing resource, scenario, and algorithm. So most of the 5 core means of production can be evaluated by how much money were spent. So, for example, OpenAI, the single firm, has raised more than 10 billion US dollars. And that is more than probably the submission of all AI company in China has ever raised. So a lot of people ask us why GPT was invented by OpenAI in the US, why no Chinese company has ever done this. So the answer is pretty simple. They have spent so much money and they hired the best people, and a lot of them. And they have tons of computing resource. They have the best GPUs from NVIDIA. And most importantly, they're very lucky. They put their resource in the direction of what we call decoder-only, the tech approach, and they focus on transformer-based infrastructure. So after years of investment and research, and because they have tons of data and they have the talented team, and as a result, in about 2022, they finally have the so-called ChatGPT. But that doesn't mean other tech approach are wrong. It's just, I think they're the first player who have successfully proved that this approach can happen. So in terms of China, we have other firms focusing on similar areas as well. It's just, for example, let's say in top universities like Tsinghua and Shanghai Jiao Tong University, there are both teams who have been doing NLP, natural language processing, especially transformer-based research problems before the launch of GPT. However, probably because they got less investment, less attention, even though they have similar products or, let's say, research outcome, it's just they got not that much popular. So I think because of the competition between the US AI and China AI, now more and more money and investment are coming to this domain, which has pushed the players in both countries to move forward.
Well, with that in mind, Wang Guan, if you look at the application of the AI technologies, tell us, what are the popular areas in which we see increasingly reliance probably on AI technologies in our daily lives?
I think one of the most popular and also very easy to adopt domain is content generation, essay writing, image generation, and video making. And all of that is about mass media. So in the past, we have to spend, let's say, an hour or several hours to write an essay, an article, and decorate and make sure it looks good, there's no errors. But now, applications like GPT can give us a very good native writing in, let's say, 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and it's free. So I think we have seen a lot of college grads, when they finish their homework, instead of like manually do it, they just go to GPT, and I think that's a huge problem. On the other side, for a lot of like, let's say, image advertising, generation, video making, game making, because for tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and the popular like Sora, we can imagine in the future individuals, although they may not have known advertising really well, they may not have experience in video generation or Photoshop, but with the help of AI applications, they can have an idea, convert that into a transcript, then convert the transcript into an image and then a video, and then launch that video in social networks like TikTok or Douyin or Xiaohongshu, and then they have like probably tons of attention. We are in the core of the revolution. So so many uncertainty is happening. But on the other side, for domains like manufacturing, aviation, these kind of not unreliable, immature technology is not easy to be adopted, especially in their core domain. Actually, if we see the real application, customer service is probably the first area or scenario where the large language models has been used for today. But if that problem can be solved, let's say if large language models, if AI is reliable, accurate, fast, and affordable, then it's probably going to be a different story. So for example, for us, we have tried to solve this problem back to 2018. And we quickly realized that if we just stick to the transformer path, it won't lead to the destination. So we have to change it fundamentally. And we were very lucky. We find a different approach which lead us to our destination. So starting from 2019, we were tested by the Bureau of Education of China. Then starting from the 2021, we use our technology, use our AI application to serve the national college entrance examination, which is the 高考, and also high school entrance examination, which is 中考. AI actually can be more accurate, faster, reliable, cheaper, and can serve at a much larger scale than human labor. So for example, this year, we are serving more than half of the participants of the exams. And AI can finish the scoring of like basically all the students of a province within a few hours. And that is probably like 20 or 100 times faster than a human teacher. And what's more is like, because AI can do the logical reasoning, scientific deduction, and accurate mathematics. So we can find if a student's solution is accurate but very unique, or let's say weird, which can probably be very hard for a human teacher to read and understand within a few seconds, because the scoring takes like tons of time because there are like multi-millions participants this year. So AI actually can guarantee as long as the students is okay, he gets the score he deserves. So that's what we do for Street for years.
At the latest, we have a very senior U.S. official talking about basically discouraging Chinese students to come to the U.S. to study science. Instead, those students should come from India. Chinese students should learn from, art. So humanities. What's your response to that? And what kind of impact that may have on Chinese AI, development or on the global development? Because as you said, this is really global collaboration, and most of the scientists, as mentioned in the Economist article, scientists from around the world still believe in collaboration, and the collaboration is important to develop AI.
That is not a smart suggestion at all. U.S. is strong because of immigration. The majority of the technology, or I say research outcomes, come from immigration, from the people that originally from Europe, from China, from Africa, from everywhere. So if U.S. says we don't want smart, hardworking, kind China young people, that is not helping the U.S. That is hurting the U.S. Actually, I don't see anyone who can benefit from such conflict. Mm-hmm. So on the other side, we have to admit the fact that U.S. universities and their technology, Silicon Valley, the industry, still has a super strong power. So if we send our young people to the other side of the world and let them learn, let them see different technology, and they're gonna benefit the entire human beings globally. So I really don't think that suggestion of not letting China students enter into the top universities in the US or enter into the domains is a good idea. If it really has to happen, then firms like Google or Meta or Amazon or Microsoft, even OpenAI, DeepMind, they probably have to fire 40% of their employees, and those employees contribute to the core of the groundbreaking technology, like even let's say Sora or GPT or Figure humanoid robotics. So I didn't see that could happen, and I think the decision maker of the U.S. also know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, lastly, of course, because the U.S. Is trying to dominate this area, or in other words, they are trying to prevent or curb the Chinese AI development. They have basically released draft rules, basically curbing or preventing U.S. investment in the Chinese AI. There's a ban or requirement for certain investment in this area in China. That plus this existing sweeping bans on the tech export to China. How will that impact the Chinese AI development? And what's the, probably the proper response from the Chinese side to deal with that kind of challenge?
I think that is not the first time the U.S. has ever done such restriction or limitation to another country. They have done similar things to Japan for chips, RAM. They've done similar things to Europe, and now they're doing that to China. But the core difference between Japan and China is China has the largest single market in the world. China has 1.4 billion population. And also we have a lot of friends. So such restriction will increase the cost of China firms who have to buy such application products. But on the other side, this is also pushing companies in China to focus on our own chips, our own CUDA, our own scenario and ecology. And until the day when our own ecology is mature enough, we have to pay more to get same means of production. But when that day arrives, the NVIDIA gonna face their biggest challenge, because now their China competitors have cheaper products and equally good. And because of such risk of being limited again in the future, I think almost every China company, they will have a plan B of using China-produced GPU cards. So I really don't think restriction to China is smart. It is not helping the US. It is only making NVIDIA to make less money than what it could. And on the other side, it's pushing China to focus an investment on its own chip industry. And for right now, it's not ready yet, but in the future, it will be ready. It's going to happen, but it's not going to happen soon. I would say 3 to 5 years. That's a reasonable expectation.